I've always found it fascinating just how many antagonists Puss in Boots: The Last Wish has. There are, of course, the obvious ones like Jack Horner, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and Death. But there's also the magical wood they have to travel through, as well as Puss in Boots himself. And not only is there a quantity of antagonists, but a quality and diversity of them as well. Jack Horner plays the classic irredeemable villain. Bigger, meaner, and with way more resources than our heroes, Jack Horner calls back to the delightfully campy and unrepentant villainy of classic Disney. For sympathetic antagonists, we have Goldilocks and the Three Bears, who serve more as rivals rather than straight-up villains to our protagonists. They have their own reasons for going after the wishing star, and even have their own character arcs. In a way, you could consider them the Zukos of the film. As for the wood, it serves as an environmental antagonist, a man versus nature if you were to put it into middle school English class terms. It is a literal force of nature that cannot be defeated or reasoned with. It has to be dealt with and overcome on its own terms, not simply with flashy swordplay. Yet for all its ability to shape itself to the psyche of the map holder, it is not the most directly connected to Puss in Boots himself. That would be Death and Puss in Boots. Death, who may get this video shadow banned, is the perfect example of the foil. He doesn't care about the wishing star or any characters besides Puss in Boots. He is there to challenge the protagonist and force them to change. In fact, if you go back and watch the film again, which I certainly recommend you do, you'll notice that Death never interacts with anyone except Puss in Boots. Heck, he isn't even seen by anyone else until their final battle atop the wishing star. He is only there for Puss in Boots and cannot be overcome until our hero overcomes himself. In the classical man versus self conflict, or in this case cat versus self, Puss in Boots cannot overcome any of his other antagonists until he overcomes his own vices and flaws. It isn't until he acknowledges his internal problems that he is able to overcome his external ones. Honestly, this movie is an absolute masterpiece, and I encourage all of you to study it if you want to come up with some great ideas for your own antagonists.